Hey everybody, it's Dr. Will Cole. For those of you who do not know who I am a functional medicine practitioner where we see patients around the world via our virtual functional medicine practice, but we're based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where we also see patients. But we're predominantly a virtual functional medicine practice where we're digging deep to root physiological facets to chronic health problems, autoimmune problems, hormonal problems, digestive issues, brain issues. My doctorate is from Southern California University of Health Sciences, and my postdoctorate education and training is in functional medicine and clinical nutrition. I'm one of MyBodyGreen.com's, one of the largest wellness websites in the world. I'm one of their course instructors and wellness experts. I'm a contributor for Goop and for Bustle and for many other outlets, teaching and writing and speaking about what I'm passionate about, which is functional medicine. So today we're going to talk about the ketogenic diet, not specifically, not just the ketogenic diet, but an approach that we've harnessed over the years, seeing patients, seeing what works and what doesn't, as a plant-based ketogenic approach to enhance our health. So we're going to dig into the science and research, all of that stuff. And for more information about functional medicine, you can check it out at drwillcole.com. Where you can geek out about all the other functional medicine stuff that we're not going to cover today. But today we're going to talk about the ketogenic diet. So the ketogenic diet, what is it? It is a low-carb, high-fat diet, but just specifically to differentiate a ketogenic diet from other low-carb diets, it is specific. It's high-fat, moderate protein, and lower carb. And by using the specific ratio of macronutrients, again, high fat, moderate protein, low carbohydrates, you can shift your body's metabolism into being a fat burning state, or what's called nutritional ketosis. So it's getting your body to burn ketones, breaking down fat. Your liver will naturally produce ketones to become a fat burner. So you burn your own fat as well as dietary fats that you're eating. So most of us are in this sort of, like in the West, we're in this sugar burning mode, and that's where our metabolism is. But so that is one form of fuel, but that can cause inflammation. It can cause blood sugar roller coasters. It can impact your brain. It's akin to sort of kindling on a fire. You need to refuel often, but you have to keep refueling because it's short-lived. You have a burst of flames and then it will die off. So ketosis is this other form of metabolic fuel. So it's akin to sort of this firewood on the fire, and it's slow burning. It is more sustainable, and because of that, you're off the blood sugar roller coaster, so to speak. You have curbed cravings. You have decreased inflammation. A lot of benefits that. This is that state called nutritional ketosis, or the body of burning fat for fuel. So the way that it works is that the liver actually puts the ketone bodies into your bloodstream naturally again and fuels your body, putting it into this state. So let's kind of dig in a little bit deeper and talk about where traditional keto and let's talk about the plant-based diet and where they go right and where they go wrong, and how when we amalgamate the best of both worlds, we can eat a plant-based ketogenic diet for optimal health. One of the main issues I have with the traditional conventional ketogenic diet is they put macronutrients above quality of food. Just because something is keto or high fat, low carb doesn't mean it's necessarily healthy or benefiting your health in any way. It's easy to get in this keto world to get hyper focused on macronutrients, proteins, fats, and carbs, when we're not being conscious of the quality of food that we're eating. So as long as it fits our macronutrients, as long as it's high fat, low carb, and long as it's keto, people will then unintentionally think it's the best thing and go for it. But this can lead to eating problematic inflammatory foods such as conventional dairy, as long as it's full fat, artificial sweeteners because it's low carb. They can go for processed meats because it's low carb. This can cause a lot of problem for people long term. Another problem I have with the conventional ketogenic diet is that it focuses too much on dairy, it's a major component for a lot of people eating the keto diet because it's high fat, low carb, and people love dairy, and it's ubiquitous. It's in all the grocery stores, so it's an easy keto food for people to have. The problem is, and it's in our culture as well. It does does a body good, the milk campaigns, all of that stuff. However, for many people, for many reasons, dairy is and can be inflammatory. So one of the main problems that I find is casein, which is the main dairy protein. And because of the crossbreeding of cows, you have what's called the beta A1 casein, which is a subfractionation of this type of casein out there, and it's highly inflammatory for a lot of people. There are different types of casein. There's beta A2 casein, which is more of the ancient type of casein. People have less of problems with that, but that's 99% of the cows in the United States do not have this original casein, and that could be a problem. The other problem I have with the ketogenic diet conventionally is that they avoid plant foods. And a common misunderstanding among many people who follow the traditional keto diet is that vegetables are to be significantly limited, since keto, again, is high fat, low carb, and vegetables contain varying amounts of carbohydrates. I've seen a lot of people in the conventional ketogenic world grow sort of fearful and overly zealous of they're afraid of avoiding vegetables. Sadly, they are unintentionally missing out on all the phytonutrients and fiber for the microbiome and prebiotic foods for our health. And keep in mind too, the diets high in fat and low in plant fiber have been shown in some studies to drive up inflammation in the body. So it's definitely not something that people should be avoiding long term for optimal health. Short term, it's better than the standard American diet. Long term, it's not so good. I would really also like to make a point that while everybody, we're all different, we all have unique biochemistry that will manifest the positive impacts of the ketogenic diet differently and to varying degrees. Most everybody have key benefits from the ketogenic diet when done right. So let's go over some of the positive benefits of the keto diet. Number one is reduced inflammation. Chronic systemic inflammation is really the underlying commonality between just about every health problem that we see today. And when you look at the pathogenesis and dive deeper into the various health problems, they all sort of have this inflammatory component in alignment with each other. So anxiety, depression, fatigue, and then heart disease, autoimmune conditions, cancer, they're all seemingly separate issues, and they are, but they all have this root commonality in chronic inflammation. They're all inflammatory health problems to varying degrees. The ketogenic diet does wonders for controlling inflammatory mechanisms and inflammatory pathways in our body. For example, the NRF2 pathway, it regulates antioxidant detoxification function in the body. Ketosis upregulates the NRF2 pathway, increases detoxification pathways there. It decreases NF-kappa B, this pro-inflammatory pathway. It downregulates interleukin-10, another inflammatory pathway. So basically, the take-home message is many different pathways. It helps to balance and calm down inflammation, cytokine activity, which is awesome. Additionally, beta-hydroxybutyrate, the beneficial ketone that your body produces, upregulates the AMPK pathway, which is the anti-cancer, sort of this cancer-fighting pathway. And as I mentioned before, NF-kappa B, which is really linked to just about every chronic inflammatory problem out there, it downregulates NF-kappa B as well. So it helps balance the immune system and calm inflammation. Another cool thing that the ketogenic diet does is it enhances brain function. It's good to remember that 25% of all our body's cholesterol is in our brain. It's a very cholesterol-rich organ, and actually the fattiest part of our body, it's 60% fat. Your brain is made of 60% fat. So the whole sort of thought that we have in our culture that fat is bad, fat will make you fat, it's really not found in biochemistry and in science when we're talking about healthy fats, real food fats. And it's not a coincidence, I would say, that many of the potential side effects of statins, cholesterol-lowering drugs, is brain problems, because it actually shuts down these important pathways that allows your body to use cholesterol for optimal brain function. And really exciting emerging science is showing that a ketogenic diet can be actually more powerful than some of the strongest medications when it comes to brain-related problems such as autism spectrum disorders, ADD, ADHD, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, anxiety, depression. I mean, these are things that are sadly pervasive in our culture, and this can be one lifestyle application to be a part of that, of managing these problems. Ketones are also extremely beneficial because they can pass through the blood-brain barrier, your brain's protective sheath, and really help improve brain clarity, improved mood, again, driving down brain inflammation. It's also been shown to increase BDNF, which is brain-derived neurotropic factor, overall improving cognitive function. So this is applicable to the brain problems I mentioned before. Also, there's research to show for traumatic brain injuries or TBIs, other neurodegenerative diseases like MS, Parkinson's, promising research coming out in the studies. Another thing the ketogenic diet does is stabilize blood sugar. Burning ketones rather than blood sugar or glucose helps to maintain a more balanced blood sugar throughout the day. So this is particularly, when we're talking about blood sugar, beneficial for people with metabolic issues, for diabetes, for weight loss resistance, for metabolic syndrome. So a lot of good applications there in this study. The ketogenic diet actually lowers insulin levels and reduces inflammation, which we mentioned before, as well as improve insulin receptor site sensitivity, which means your body will utilize insulin and blood sugar more efficiently. And early trial reports have shown that type 2 diabetes symptoms can be reversed in some studies in just 10 weeks on the ketogenic diet. That's 10 weeks versus all the medications that they pump people on for diabetes. There's more conservative lifestyle applications when it comes to the foods that we eat and what it can do for our health. Another thing the ketogenic diet does is that it improves detoxification pathways, which we mentioned, the NRF2 pathways and AMPK pathways. So by enhancing these natural inherent detoxification pathways that your body already has, it's upregulated by being in this more metabolically flexible state. So those are really the pros and the cons of the ketogenic diet. And then the pros of the plant-based diets is that they enhance detoxification by using food medicines that are rich in phytonutrients and polyphenols, and also they are rich in prebiotic foods, fiber from non-starchy vegetables to feed your gut microbiome, which is the foundation of health. 75% of the immune system's in your gut. Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, said all disease begins in the gut. And plant-based diets really excel in feeding your gut microbiome good food. So my thought over the years, I saw people in the plant-based camp, what they did right and what they did wrong, and then the best of the keto world and what they did right and what they did wrong. So I wanted sort of this amalgamation of the best of both worlds, and that's when we put out Ketotarian, which is my plant-based ketogenic approach to optimal wellness. So we teach it obviously on a clinical level, but we also put it in a book, which is out right now when you're seeing this. So it is, half of the book is science and health tips and research and tips and tricks and how to be plant-based keto and why you want to experiment with this in your life. And then the other half is recipes and meal plans and pretty pictures and all of the manifestation of the science and the research and why this is beneficial. So this alchemy of plant-based and ketogenic diet and what that can do for someone's health was a project of mine that I was passionate about over the past year. I'm so excited to be able to share Ketotarian with you now. So it is something that I want you guys all to know about. So in Ketotarian, there's 3 different options. There's vegan keto, vegetarian keto, and Pescatarian Ketogenic, where you can just be vegan keto, or you can be vegan, vegetarian, and pescatarian, meaning that you can bring eggs and ghee, clarified butter in, or you can bring the pescatarian, the wild-caught fish, and things like that. Some people, because of personal preference or personal reasons, ethical reasons, religious reasons, they'll be just vegan or vegetarian, and some people will have the pescatarian options, which I explain it from a functional medicine standpoint. The bioavailability of certain B vitamins and omega fats are more utilized by the body more efficiently. So I'm giving the science about that. But if somebody wants to be completely vegan keto, I tell exactly how to do it and how to excel at it and use food as medicine. So I'm very excited about you guys reading it. It is on everything's at drwillcole.com. You can get exclusive access to certain aspects of the book. You can get things that we couldn't fit in the book, all at drwillcole.com, but it's on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and all of those other websites as well. But just to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek of what's in Ketotarian is that you have the plant-centric base of it are plant fats and leafy greens. So we have avocados, avocado oil, olives, olive oil. We have nuts and seeds at the base, as well as non-starchy vegetables like spinach and all the other green leafy vegetables out there. And then the next level of it is our other vegetables like asparagus and broccoli and onions and garlic and all these really help make. My passion is really making your life a cleanse instead of doing another detox. How can we use food to clean your body and support healthy natural detoxification pathways? So there's a lot of food medicines there in the vegetable or plant foods category, as well as clean protein. So we have, obviously from a vegetarian standpoint, we have eggs. And from a vegan standpoint, we talk about spirulina. We talk about also fermented soy, organic and organic non-GMO fermented soy like tempeh and natto. And then we talk about other plant-based proteins like sacha inchi and these other cool foods you can bring into your life if you want to be completely plant-based to get a complete amino acid profile throughout the day. And obviously, if you're pescatarian, you can have the wild-caught fish as well with the healthy omega fats. And then from there, you can have low fructose fruits like berries and lemons and limes and grapefruits and these lower fructose plant-based keto fruits. So that is what we call in the book the Ketotarian triangle. We talk about what foods to focus on to become a fat burner, to be in nutritional ketosis. I am super excited for you guys to be checking this out, but I wanted to give you a little bit of a sneak peek about what the pros and the cons in the ketogenic diet, and then the pros of being plant-based. And then obviously in the book we talk about the pitfalls of being plant-based and how to avoid them. So we talk about being carb addicted and being a carbitarian and depending on breads and pastas and all this starch just to provide you energy because you're not fat adapted. So everybody that's in the plant-based world, my heart goes out to you. If you're not feeling well on your diet, consider this as a low-carb, plant-based, ketogenic approach to optimize your health. And then there's everybody else in the standard American diet or the standard Western diet approach where they aren't keto, they're not plant-based, they just don't know what the heck they should be eating. And Ketotarian gives you real food, plant-based ketogenic options. I keep saying this, but I'm really excited for you guys all to read it. So for more information about Ketotarian, about functional medicine, check out drwillcole.com. We're going to have a masterclass on being plant-based keto a little bit in a few weeks. It'll be released in September. So check out for the ultimate video class as well. It'll be cooking and sort of hands-on practical application. But for now, Ketotarian, it's out now. I'm very excited for you guys to see it. And we will see you guys on the next webinar. Have a great day.